I think the people that I get to work with day in, day out, the culture from the top down. We're a God-fearing, God-honoring company. He has blessed us, and to work in a place like that day in, day out is truly, I think, an exception in our country. I wish we had more places like that.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome Jim Cass, the pastor of Pastoral Fellowship at Baptist Church.
Let us pray. Dear God, Father, source of all blessing, today we want to especially thank the blessing of being here in this wonderful community, in this great nation. Lord, we lift them up to your continued watch and care. Lord, in this time we also lift each one of us up to your continued providential care over so Lord, we thank you for these elected officials, for their desire to serve this community, to serve people well in this community. We lift them up to you for guidance, wisdom, and leadership. We pray this because we know that you are not through with us. You, the great creator, are still involved in this creation. You love us. And it is in that confidence that we live this prayer this day.
Before we move to the Pledge of Allegiance, I would like us to offer a moment of silence for Reverend Jeff Geskey's tragedy that befell their family at the Solana campus these last weeks. We have a moment of silence for the loss of his family, the person lost. And join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Amarillo City Commission, held this day at 3 o'clock on the third floor of City Hall. First item for business today is the minutes. Approval of the minutes of the regularly scheduled meeting of January 24th. Do we have any additions or corrections to the minutes that were presented?
Mayor, I move for approval of the minutes as presented.
Second.
All those in favor of the minutes?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 4-0 vote. The next item for business is ordinance number 7316. This is the first reading of an ordinance changing the zoning of a 7.76 acre tract of unplanted land, section 64, block 9, BS&F survey, Randall County, in the vicinity of Ocala Avenue and Nancy Allen Street, to change from agricultural district to residential district 2. This is recommended for approval by a 5-0 vote of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Do we need a presentation on this?
Mayor, Mr. Shaw, I'd be pleased to answer any questions that you may have. I don't believe the applicant is present either.
Do we have any questions from the commission about this ordinance? Any questions from the audience? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move we approve ordinance number 7316.
I'll second.
All those in favor of ordinance number 7316?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 4-0 vote. Resolution guidelines and criteria governing property tax abatement within the investment zones of the city of Amarillo. This resolution adopts the guidelines and associated criteria for the possible abatement of taxable value of improvements for real property or tangible personal property that is brought to real property on land located within a reinvestment zone created in the city of Amarillo. The city must adopt tax abatement guidelines every 2 years. These guidelines and associated criteria were last approved in 2010. In 2012, guidelines considered jobs retained as well as jobs created and adhered to the requirements and authorization granted to the city by Texas statutes. Are there any questions about this resolution? Mr. City Manager, do you have any comments about it?
Mayor, thank you. I would just reiterate, this is something that the city has had in place for several years. What you're doing today is not approving an abatement to any one particular project or business. It's merely adopting the guidelines such that at the point you're brought an opportunity to consider an abatement, you'll be in a position to do so. The only significant change to your guidelines from the ones adopted in 2010 is that it did add, you could consider jobs being retained for our community as well as jobs being created for the community. Doing so pretty much sets up your guidelines to take full advantage to what's been offered to you in state law.
Any comments from the commission about this resolution? Any comments from the audience? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the resolution of the property tax abatement within the reinvestment zones.
Second.
All those in favor of this resolution?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 4-0 vote. The consent agenda. It's recommended that the following items be approved and that the city manager be authorized to execute all documents necessary for each transaction. A is acceptance of fire response equipment agreement, and B is the award of water transmission main improvement project. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be removed for separate consideration by the commission? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Mayor, I will move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Are there any comments about the items on the consent agenda from the audience? From the commission? Not? All those in favor of passing the consent agenda?
Aye.
That passes with a 4-0 vote. Okay, that concludes the regularly scheduled meeting of the City Commission, the agenda. And it's now time for public comments from interested citizens pertaining to matters of city policy, programs, or services. Are there any comments from the audience about any of those items? If not, that concludes the commission meeting. We'll adjourn the meeting.
You might want to remind people next week is
Next week is an evening meeting, as Commissioner Sim says. So that will begin at 5 p.m.
5:30.
5:30 p.m.
Gee.
Thank you, Jim.
What did you do without us?
I don't know.
Not much.